Finalee.
Hi everybody. We can use this or...
Hi everybody, my name is Pierce, and let's just start with a little video here. We're going to find all things to do within 5 miles. Ready? Go. Done. Done. Wow. Wow. Done. 1, 2, 3. Done.
Okay. You let finish typing it. That's pretty cool.
Okay, Google, show me all
Done.
the strong stuff.
Wait a minute. Wow.
All right, does that get everyone's attention? All right, so let's just get right into what we're solving for. Right now, everything that we search for has clutter, ads, targeted ads, ratings, which are unsubstantiated, fake reviews, trolling comments. But the biggest problem that we hate are the ads. Is this showing up here? All right, so 5 years ago, I was helping this really sweet older lady with her bakery. She'd only had one review. She never even knew what Yelp was, but she had had one review, and it was a terrible review about one of her employees being rude. The thing is that she'd never had an employee throughout her 50 years in business there. So myself and 32 other people, mostly business owners, we set aside to create an app that could show you everything close by without bogging you down with ads and fake reviews and clutter. When I was growing up, if you liked a place, you went back to it. If you didn't like it, you might just say, okay, I caught him on a bad day, I'll try again. And word of mouth used to mean something, and that's changed a lot. So right now, all you have to do is if you just open up Google and just start typing, buy, and just the first few letters of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything, you can buy likes, comments, followers, reviews. Every single one of these have actual websites where you can pay money to do all that. Has anyone ever heard of this particular restaurant? It's The Shed. It became TripAdvisor's #1 recommended restaurant in all of London. And it never existed, and that's his backyard right there. So this guy, for a living, actually posts fake reviews for businesses. So he decided to start his own restaurant, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, in 6 weeks, he became the top rated place. On the very last day, he said, why don't we actually just make a restaurant in my backyard? So he does this, gets all the microwave food, and then, as you can see, some of the faces are blurred out. You can find this video online. They're blurred out because these are people saying how amazing the restaurant is. It's the best thing they'd ever had in their life. So right here are main competitors. I guess basically the platforms people use. They might use TripAdvisor for hotels. They might use Yelp for restaurants, and then they might use Google to look for things to do. So I'd actually put in this search yesterday, as a matter of fact. I put in our location, and it gave me with the result in Paris. This is things to do in Winthrop, where I'm from. Snake Island is not walking distance, it's swimming distance. Boylston Street is in Boston. And then you go down another little rabbit hole. When you get to Yelp, the reason why I show this particular set of screenshots, the very first thing we're going to see is an ad right off the bat. And if you notice, it's 3.5 stars. It's about 2.5 miles away. But I did a search for things nearby in Winthrop. The one in the middle starts to show the locations. On the third one, you see number 7 is Cafe Delight. That was actually where I did the search from. So that's why I said 0 miles. So even though I was literally right outside Cafe Delight, that should have been first on list. A lot of people say to support local, but it's really hard to support local if you don't really know what local is and what's nearby. So how are we solving these? We're removing ads. We're not asking for personal information. We're not allowing comments, ratings, reviews. Right now, I'm sure every single person with the startup is like, how are you going to make money? I'm assuming that's in there. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to show you the app. I'd like to get, I met Sean earlier. Can you come down here, please? And then I'm going to have Chris. We're just going to do a live demonstration of the app. It's amazing how fast an app can be when you remove all the algorithms needed for pay to play. Can we set this back up one more time, please? And anyone else can try this as well. If anyone beats me, I'll buy you dinner. Okay, so you can be on one side, you can be on the other side. So my app it's called Finalee. And one last detail before we start. we got tired of businesses launching in Silicon Valley, so we wanted to make Boston proud. This was 5 years in the making. We only wanted to do it here in Boston, and Chris is actually paramount in us wanting to do this in Boston because you keep organizing these. So right now, we're going to open the app. You can use whatever. What are you going to use?
Safari.
Safari?
Google.
Google. Okay. And anyone else can play along. We're going to find all restaurants within 3 miles of exactly where we're sitting. Ready? You guys can go ahead and start. Okay. So in a split second, I just found every single place. Let me switch all places within 1 mile. Did you get that? Okay. Now let's find things to do. Okay, let's change that. Let's find things to do. Let's find things to do within 1 mile of the Sydney Opera House. Sydney Opera House. Okay, so we're already there. If I want to return back to where I'm at right now, I'll just pull down, and we're right back here. So let's go over to restaurants. This works anywhere on the face of the planet. And let's say I don't know what this Blaze Fast Fired Pizza is. You can tap Find Out More. That opens it up. But now, do you guys have Uber on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, get an Uber to Blaze Fired Pizza. All I have to do is click available, confirm.
Still loading.
So it's actually faster. So it's faster. Got it?
Yeah.
So these categories, we call them our instant gratification categories: hangry, shit to do, and Z's, because those are things that we, our team, wanted to find the most. I travel all the time. So if I wanted to find a hotel to stay close to the San Diego Zoo, let's do it. San Diego Zoo. Switch over to Z's. Okay. Now how many are within 3 miles?
Let me see.
How about within 7 miles? Okay. So you'll wonder these numbers. There's a blue number that says 0, and then the 285. That means within 7 miles of the San Diego Zoo, there are 285 hotels. So whenever I'm traveling, I'll actually put in the name of the hotel that I'm going for. You can do address. You could do very Boolean expressions, Grand Pyramids, and it's already there. All of this is without a single ad, no comments, no ratings, no reviews. If you're one of those people like, no, I need to actually see stuff, you can always tap Find Out More. It opens in Google with already filled out, and then you can do your own research. And again, returning back to here. That is our app in a nutshell. I'm sure there's plenty of questions, so I'll conclude with that. Thank you for letting me show it to you. No. She looks like a sniper. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever thought about Google Maps as your competitor?
Yes, so her question was, have we ever thought of Google Maps as our competitor? So Google Maps burns me a lot. If you were to open up Google Maps right now and try to find a restaurant, it kind of goes something like this. 2.5 miles, 0.03 miles, 0.7 of a mile, 6 miles, add, 0.2 of a mile, because it's a pay to play. It's who has the best reviews, who's paid the most for ad spend. That's what slows down a lot of apps, is it has to run these complex algorithms behind the scenes, and ours doesn't do that. We are already in talks with a major car company. They're calling it the Internet of the Vehicle, to go into the dashboards. One last thing, maybe I'm answering questions before someone asks them, but those 3 categories, we're working on 700 plus additional subcategories, so it's kind of like Netflix. You can put in your own queue of things that you like, so you might want to say, I want all dog parks. Someone else might say, I want yoga studios, and so it's your own personalized carousel. Any other questions? Yes?
Monetization.
So good, the monetization. We're not sure why the companies don't. We kind of have an idea why other companies don't do this, but essentially, we allow one sponsor in every city on the face of the planet. Only their name can show up for the first 2 seconds when the app loads and nowhere else. So in Boston, anyone at all that opens the app in Boston, it'll say sponsored exclusively by Improv Asylum. You could tap on their name and it goes right to their website. Now this becomes something that they get to give to all their people. So when their shows are done, they're like, hey, here's this app that we're sponsoring. You go to Winthrop, it's sponsored by Adriana's Cafe. You go to another city. So you can have it where entire countries can be sponsored. And we sold the 10 largest cities in a little under 6 hours at a picture framing convention. That's where we launched it, just to prove a point that we could get sponsors to invest without even users at the beginning. Any other questions? Yes, sir?
Where's the underlying data coming from?
So we've crowdsourced from every public place you can get from. We've been doing it for 5 years. So we have teams all over the world. We tried using Google methods. We tried handwriting down stuff. The important thing is the only thing we needed was the business name and address. So we kind of have a joke. I apologize if this is rude, but we say if it goes in your mouth and it's not sexual, it's in the hangry category. Because the problem is, if you look up coffee houses, all coffee houses have food. If you look up bars in Massachusetts, you have to have food. So we originally started with all these subcategories. Like, I just want to find sushi. But if you're scrolling through the app, you can tell what's a sushi place. You can tell what's a Mexican restaurant. You can tell all those things very quickly. We just want people to have unbiased, no favoritism. Just show me the results of what's nearby and nothing else. Yes, sir?
So why, so when you go into it, I just downloaded.
Yes.
When you go into it,
Phone number.
And you hit, want to know more, it takes you to a Google site.
So that's by choice. So we love Google. We're huge. Google, if you're listening, we love you. We're big fans of Google. The thing is, we want people to have as much or as little information as they want. So I use the app. I almost never use Find Out More and go to Google. But sometimes I may want to find out if it's still open that night. Now, the specific reason why we didn't include it ourselves is because if it's on our app and we're saying when a business is open or closed, we're at the mercy of them updating. And if they don't update their information on Google, it actually looks like we're providing inaccurate information. So if someone wants to click Find Out More and it shows up on Google, then that's that.
So you can't go to their website?
Yeah, so if you actually click Find Out More, you'll be able to go to whatever information they have on there. But for us, every business on there is listed for free. All we care about is, are they actually a place that sells food of some particular way?
No, I guess I'm sorry.
So if I click,
why not go to the restaurant's website?
Good, because every single one, there's two really good answers to that. The very first one is because we would have to, right now we have about 5 million businesses in the world, we'd have to track down the website for every single one of those, and those change. The second one is Google does a better job of updating a lot of businesses' information more than they do themselves. Not every business can afford a website, and we really wanted an equal playing field for everyone. So small mom and pops, they can't afford a presence on Google or a website. So we're like, I want to search for every place within walking distance, and we actually show you every place within walking distance. There's a lot more questions, but do you want me to? All right, we're done? Sorry. Thank you.